Do you hear me? Mm-hmm. With Unico Williams. That's right. It's your boy. Coming at you on Baller Friday. You already know what time it is, man. If you feeling like, man, if you a baller, handle your business. Score. Go to win. That's Baller Friday. And we going to talk about it all. A little bit later on, we going to do what we do. We going to play a little bit of Kratos. What that boy name is? Ragnarok. Yeah. God of War Ragnarok. We got that going on. We gonna play a little bit of Red Dead Redemption because this is a place in my heart for that game, and I just want to beat it. So we're gonna have a little bit of that, and I'm gonna talk my shit. Um, that's just what it is. If it ain't nothing else, but we do got a little bit to talk about tonight, and I'm not gonna keep y'all. We are gonna have a good time, and this Baller Friday. Y'all know what time it is, man. But I keep on talking about me. Let me stop talking about me. Let me talk about you for a little bit. How was your week this week? You have as my dog goes to go probably throw up. He does. They do this shit every. Anyway, how's your week this week? Do you have the sniffles? That's all right. That's just a change in the season. Because the fall, it starts to change. You have such an exciting and fiery summer, and then the fall, you start to come down a little bit, right? But that's just a change in the seasons. And that's what happens. You come down a little bit. And then in comes the winter. And what the winter can tend to do is you kind of feel like it's leaving you barren. And it's not. All it is an opportunity to reset life, reset everything. And then you work hard to build on yourself. You might work out, you might, do some, you might do, you might put in work in the winter. Because what you are doing is you're resetting and building a new foundation. Because in the spring, you come back anew. And when you come back in the spring, you're still not all the way there. There's still something beautiful to be made. And then you become beautiful. And then you right back in the summer where the fire burns, oh, so brightly. Woo! Let's get right into it. So first of all, I want to say rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy is mostly known for him being the voice actor or Batman, the animated series that came out in the 90s. That he's iconic voice, and then he actually went on to do all the Arkham Knights and all the Batman voices essentially. Like he is Batman as it comes to what we all imagine Batman to sound like. We tried that one dude that tried to do it like that. And then we got this new young Batman, and he still got to earn his stripes because he's out of Twilight. He's still trying to earn his stripes. We'll see. I thought it was an okay movie, but I think they had the same budget as Friday because they stayed at the same place, that either at his crib or at Penguin's Club. But that's neither here nor there. But we want to give a big shout out to Kevin Conroy because he is a very iconic voice, and when you hear his voice, that is Batman. He passed away at the age of 66, man. So life is precious, weird, but in death, we can also celebrate life. And we got to say happy birthday to my boy Monray, all right? You need to know that. Happy birthday to my boy Monray. That's my guy, man. Shout out to my boy Zelme. He brought us together. We did a show, and we've been doing shows, and we've all gotten better at what we do. And we've got to link with new people we would have never met if we just stayed in one place. I believe that's the one thing that the pandemic and the old Corona did for us, is that it allowed for us to meet people that we would have never met before. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to Monray. Appreciate it. We will be on doggone make it make sense. That'll be on Saturdays, usually around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that y'all link up with that. I'll be on there. We're gonna talk about Black Panther 2, Mid Panther. If you ask me, I haven't seen Mid Panther 2 though, so we'll see if how I feel about that. It is what it is. It is what it is. But let's go on. I really have two topics in regards to worth speaking about tonight. So we have some footage of Kanye West speaking out about how they can't control him, and why they can't control him is like a 2-minute clip. But he's sitting on the passenger side of a vehicle. He's telling us why they can't control him. When you say they, we all know about the controversy that's going on with Kanye and Kyrie Irving. This is mostly on the heels of that too. Had Kanye left it at that, or had the powers to be, the people that run stuff, if they just left that Kanye West, I don't know if people would still be talking about it. They'd be like, oh, Kanye's on a rant. But Kyrie has entered the fray in regards to his recent just reposting of a movie he watched, which none of y'all watched. Don't sit up here and lie to me today. I ain't watched none of that. Y'all ain't watched none of that. Y'all ain't watched none of that movie because I didn't. First off, let's talk about it. It's $11.99 to rent it, and you only get to keep it for 2 days, and it is from the moment you actually watch it. So you get it for a couple of days when you first start it. And then the other alternative is that it's $50, $49.99 to buy it from Amazon. So y'all ain't watched that. Y'all don't know what that movie's about. Y'all just going off of what people said and all that. If you ain't watch it, I say it all the time on my show. Study to show thyself approved. Period. So if you ain't watched it, you don't know if it's saying anti this, anti that. The man told you, Kyrie, I'm talking about. Kyrie said he has no hate towards any religion or any culture or anything. And he said that he can't be anti that word because if he knows where he comes from, he can't be that. And he's speaking about the 12 tribes of Judah. That's all I'm going to leave it at that myself. But anyway, Kanye, he comes back into the fray, and he's talking about that, he can say what he wants because he won't go to jail because he doesn't have a murder case now. Is that dry snitching? I don't know. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But, he's saying they can't control him because he ain't got no murder. He ain't got a murder charge. He ain't committed no crimes. He can just say whatever he wants to. He's not going to jail. He also went on the name drop Jay-Z and Beyonce, Shaq and Charles Barkley, and he even brought up the great LeBron James. And he told us that he said that he didn't like the way that the honorable Louis Farrakhan, he didn't like the way that he portrayed it. In a sense, he didn't like how he read it. What Kanye was saying, he didn't like that, and he said he's not taking slice from anybody. He said that he loves them, and he would love to get on the phone and they can have that conversation. But he said you can't send those ditties at me to talk to me. You can't send those puppies and boosies and all that stuff at. He said what he said. He said what he said. So this is coming on the heels of a lot of quote unquote backtracking. Shannon Sharp will get caught in the crossfire as well. Somebody that's well respected. Everybody that he's named on this list, I respect them a lot. But he's saying that people are telling him to go out there and say this, and it's fitting a lot of narratives. So, is he right? I don't know. But a lot of people are just backtracking like, hey, hold on. What y'all doing is bucks something. It's a thing, though. It's like so basically the ideology is, and there was a book written to help other slave owners. And it's legit real. Like, it's a thing. Like, he's like, here, this is how you control your slaves. You take the strongest one of them all and you strip him of everything, you whoop his ass. And we're seeing that. We saw that happen with Kanye. I'm not saying that he's the strongest person in the world. And that's my color. But I can say that he's very influential as to me becoming who I am today. And Kyrie makes $47 million a year. He's good, right? So all that being said, a lot of people are like, yo, that's too much. Because now people look like, hey, man, I said what y'all wanted me to say. But if I was to ever have an opinion that y'all adverse to, y'all gonna do this to me? Y'all gonna take my shoe deal? Basically, you trying to hurt me with money because, in a sense, I would say this, a lot of black folk get their strength from money. That's not where my strength comes from. My strength comes from, now. Don't get me wrong; it would help me do a lot of things. Having a whole bunch of money will help me do a lot of things. But most importantly, though, if you can't be given a power that can be taken from you, if you believe in who you are, if you believe in what you believe in, people use that as control tactics. Like, don't accept things where it can be taken from you. You know what I'm saying? That I'm telling y'all, I get that a lot in my own personal life in regards to. I ain't even gonna get into that, man. I ain't getting into that because shoot, I need that. But I'm just saying, in a lot of ways, it's like, oh yeah, he got all this money, so y'all think he's untouchable. Let me show you how we can touch him. And then they take away his power, they take away his love, which I will believe is he loves playing basketball, right? I believe he loves playing basketball. And then you take away some money from him, and he sat out. Like, he's got generational wealth. That's not. I'm not trying to read the man's pockets at all. I'm not trying to do that. But I will say this: it's like the rest of y'all, because there's somebody out there that was given $10,000 to go and say whatever they would say, and to as a contrarian to what Kyrie and Kanye are saying. There's somebody that was given $20,000 to say this. There's somebody that would take $100 right now to say this, and they say, you know what? If you don't say this though, you'll lose your job, and that job might be $15 an hour. Oh, I heard you in the back room talking about that Kyrie stuff. You out of here. He might have been a felon. He might have been, it's a lot of different things, and that's the problem that I have with this whole thing, is that there was people. The reason that people are fighting back is like, man, what he said was wrong, and he shouldn't have. I mean, he shouldn't have reposted that. Y'all ain't watched it, first and foremost. Second of all, you come out here and say what you say, and they got you apologizing. They got you apologizing. But black people, black men, especially, I would say, are held to a higher standard when it comes to like the things that we say. Because I feel like there is like a gatekeeping going on. Like, man, why can't two things be true? Why can't you be a part of the tribe of Judah, and why can't I come from that too? Why can't I identify as the same thing? And we just saying that, is a certain section of people that may look a certain way that took advantage of that. Nobody's saying that that thing that happened back in them 40s and 30s and all that stuff. Nobody's saying that didn't happen. I believe that it 100% happened, and I hate that. I hate that for that group of people. Honestly, I hate that. But I mean, I can look at ancestry, and I can come to my own conclusion and be like, yo, am I one of them too? But is it that I look a certain way? Because if you're trying to preserve an image of a certain title, I tell you like this, and this is the best way that I can come up with it. Let's say the family is all one particular skin color, right? But y'all got this person that mingle with another group of people. And so now they look different than you, but do they still carry your last name? Do they still carry your blood? Do they still carry do they carry your history with you along with the history that they have with the other group of people? Two things can be true. I can be this, but I can also be this as well. And I feel like that's all they were trying to say. But there's a lot of backtracking, and I just feel like I feel like a lot of folk that look like Kyrie, they turn their back at first, but then they realize that this can happen to you too. You could lose everything as well if we do things the right. Come on, man. Just come on, man. That's all I'm saying. And then I'm gonna move on to my final topic. We can get into that deeper. Should y'all want to, make sure y'all like and subscribe, do all that cool stuff, man. Do that with me, rock with me. I ain't doing nothing but just speaking how this is my perception of the black experience, the black male experience. This is my perception. I'm just saying money does not define anybody, but some people are ruled by it. And sometimes you either got to take a stand to do the right thing or fall in line. Again, money is very helpful. It makes life easy, not just for you, but then you look at the people, you look at your loved ones, and you're like, how the money that you make makes life easier for them. But why can't life just be easier in general, just respecting people as people, period? So let me move on. And then I want to get, with that being said, talking about the Black experience, Atlanta just reached its series finale. It was a really trippy episode. I would say that you really don't know what's real or what's not in this episode, but it just feels like a happy ending. And I sometimes there's nothing to dissect. It's about how you feel in each scene. It's about how you feel while you're going through the experience. While you're watching each episode, is how you feel. That's what dictates a show. Whether you hate it or you like it or you love it, it's all defined about how you feel in that moment, in that scene. And I watched that series all the way up to it. It even almost feels like an anthology in a sense, and that's fine. But maybe sometimes stuff isn't supposed to make sense. Maybe there's not supposed to be a clearly painted picture for you. Maybe you just go for the ride and enjoy the experience. And how you feel off of that experience is what matters. The journey that you take going through that experience, watching each scene with Ern and Darius and Paperboy, and hell, even Van. She went through her own journey in there. It was something beautiful to behold, honestly. I think the visual was beautiful. I think it was very surreal. But the end of the day, I just want to leave you with this poem by the Funkadelics. There is a song that I sing whenever I'm sad, feeling bad. There is a place in my head that I go when I'm feeling low. I can trust in the melody. In this song, I can find me. Ever since I lost you, I've been so lost too. In our love, there is harmony. And I want to see this love through with you. To my song, I can relate. And I don't gotta syncopate. Every word is in time, on time, at all times. In our love, there is a harmony. And I want to see this love through with you. Because there's a song you can sing. There is a quiet place where you'll go. That all you got to do is face. That there's a song that you can sing. When the love you had is love gone bad. There's a place you can go. There's a quiet place. All you got to do is space. And all I'm saying is that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't even got a Christian Mingle thing on there. I just want everybody to know that there's a center that you go to when everything just isn't feeling right, when everything just isn't going how you want it to go. There's a place that you can go. And that's that familiar song. It's the one that beats in your heart. So you know the deal. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Mama, I'm on Spotify, Overall 99 Media on, you know what the deal is, on YouTube. Go to UnicoWilliams.com and then hit the links on everybody else's stuff. You can go to all their shows. So that's it for Do You Hear Me with Unico Williams. I'm going to go ahead and get ready for some sports stuff, I believe, we about to get in. If not, we going to Ragnarok. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Do You Hear Me? With Unico Williams. I holla. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Don't forget, every Thursday, the full podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and mama, I'm on Spotify. Overall 99 ENT bring you video videos from Friday all the way to Friday. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much.